This is Gubin Cassius for IFLTV. Delighted to be joined by the CEO of Matchroom, Frank Smith.
Kurgan, how are you? Lovely vest.
Do you like it? What do you reckon?
Yeah, great. Looking well, to be fair. Reminded me of your security days.
What, when I was about 23 stone?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
definitely not.
the worst security guard ever.
Why? He come home
Did,
alive, didn't he? Ricky Hatton?
did you ever have to deal with any altercations?
Yes.
Did you?
Yeah,
No.
once.
Bad?
No, just, do you know what? Do you actually want to know what it was about?
Sure.
So, when Hatton had to leave in an ambulance after the
Mm.
Pacquiao fight, people were trying to take photos in the like outside the ambulance. So that's when I went into fucking, yeah, protective mode. Put your
Were you
fucking cameras away, you fucking wank. Like I was going off on one, yeah.
were you more of a security mind, like looking around what was going on, or were you more just ready to have it at any point?
No, I wasn't ready to have it because I can't fight, but I'll stay
How
there
did you get the job then as a security?
because me and Ricky was really close then. We're close now, but we was really close then. So he just really wanted me around for banter.
Uh,
It, it was a good trip though. It was 12 weeks in Vegas. Before
Quality.
IFL, by the way, before IFL.
Quality.
Yeah, I don't even know what you were doing. What was you doing in 2009?
I started at Matchroom in September 2008. So in 2009, I was delivering teas and coffees. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was good at it as well.
you was very good at it.
Very good. 17 years ago, that was. I was probably one of the best.
Paid off though, didn't it? Look where you are now.
It did, mate. It did. It worked out in the end. Worked out in the end.
Right. Um, right, let's start with Australia.
Yes.
Yeah, talk to me about.
I am not in Australia.
No, clearly
I'm
not. I know exactly where you are as well because I know the backdrop, so I know where you
in-
are. But yeah, you got a show in Australia or co-pro show.
Yeah, yeah. Jake Whiteley's return against Dib. He had a great fight, obviously, against George Kambosos last time out. So he's back out in the ring. Excited to see him. He was a great opponent on last minute notice, a week before he stepped in. And I think comes through this on Saturday night, sets himself up again to be in some good fights and some big fights against a few big names of ours. Sky Nicholson back out as well on her journey to go and become world champion again. So excited to see her back in the ring and all live on the zone, mate. So, although looking at the weather here, I wish I would have gone to Australia.
Yeah, it's turned a little bit, and it was all right the
And
weekend. Apparently, I was in Saudi, so you was in Saudi as well, of course.
yeah,
But
yes.
um, Australian boxing though, it's like it's been ticking over. I think
Mm.
is everyone waiting for like I know Opatai is kind of in the pound for pound list. He's one of the best at the weight, etc. But just need that kind of push from one particular person. Is that coming from Opatai, in your opinion?
It can be, but there's a lot of names out there. Opatara is one. Justice Honey, when he comes back, can be another one as well. Obviously, what we did the show there recently with George Kambosos, as we said. Sky's got a big audience there as well. So there's lots of opportunity, and there's not just us in the market. You've obviously got Main Event as well, are doing their shows. So we'll see what happens, but it's an exciting market for us. There's definitely a lot of appetite for the sport there. So it's a market where pay-per-view has always driven the sport in reality. The big fights have always been on pay-per-view, the fights have always been on there. So it's somewhere for us that we're very interested in, we're invested in. Terra Moana, another one of our young heavyweight stars. I think in the long run can do some big numbers. You only have to look back as well. I know Joseph Parker, obviously a New Zealander, but look back at the numbers he used to do when he was building his career, prior to the major international fights across New Zealand and Australia, he was doing massive numbers as well. So there's a massive market there to do great things. And, we've stuck in there and hopefully we can build something big in there.
Let's kind of stick with the heavyweight thing. We mentioned Terra Moana. I mean, this is like the next phase. I know, obviously, off the back of Italma's win, which we'll talk about
Mm,
from the weekend. You guys have got your kind of next crop there with Leo and
mm.
um, Terramana that could kind of go and these guys could dominate the next few years of the heavyweight division once this kind of guard that we're not waiting for them to retire. We want them to keep going, but at some
Yeah.
point they're at the end of their careers, and these are the next future stars.
Yeah, 100%. Like, look, you look at a few of our young heavyweights, Leo, who you mentioned there, he's very young. He's 18 years old. He's a fighter that we're going to take it slow with and develop him and build him. He's not, although only a couple of years younger than Moses, he's at a different sort of stage of his career, of course. Terra Moana is a brilliant heavyweight who's lighting things up. He's entertaining inside and outside the ring. His ring walks always bring entertainment as well. He's someone we definitely believe can cause Moses problems. But it's an exciting time, and as you say, building through that next squad of heavyweights who are going to take over from the current crop. But in heavyweight boxing, you can never really write people off. I was speaking to Joseph Parker the other day at ringside about when we did Joseph against Anthony Joshua at Cardiff, which was 7 years ago. And when you then look at the trajectory and the path his career has taken from there, and would you have said after that fight against AJ, would Joseph Parker go on to do what he's done? Probably not, in truth. He had a quieter period during COVID. He was back in, he had a few fights in New Zealand. But you can never write heavyweights off, even as they get older. So I think those guys are still going to be around and in the division for a long time. But it's exciting times. And yeah, Moses, a tremendous win for him as well.
Yeah, let's talk about Moses. Obviously, we didn't catch up for you after the fight on Saturday in Saudi Arabia, but yeah, I mean, look, whether people were picking Moses to beat Dillian or not, I don't think anyone kind of picked as early as a one round win in that respect. But I mean, I know there's been some reports that Dillian White went in there with an injury, etc. We've not had any kind of official confirmation of that, but Moses did his part and is just doing everything right at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. Look, you can't in any way question what Moses is going in there knocking people out. He's delivering. That's his job. And he gets in there with the people he's put in there with. And it wasn't the best Dillian White we've seen, was it? He looked in great shape. I don't think in the ring it was the best Dillian White. That's the reality of it. But Moses has got his job to get in the ring, deliver knockout performances, and he's doing that time and time again. It's quite special to see what he's doing at just 20 years old. It's insane to see what he's already done and where he can go on to. I hope he goes all the way. I think the reality is with heavyweight boxing, as we've seen time and time again, when you're getting hit by a 16, 17, 18 stone man, anyone can get knocked out. And the difficulty always is the speed as well of bringing people through. So Moses now is going to be, because of the type of night, beating Dillian White, it's like another step up from here. And we're in a fickle sport as well, where he has one-off performance and everyone goes, not that special, But right now he's doing everything he needs to do, and well done to him, and hope it carries on because it's great for the sport. Even though we don't promote Moses, it's great for the sport with new fighters coming through and delivering performances like that.
Obviously, straight off the back of Moses' win, Turkey's kind of put his feelings out about wanting to see Moses in with Alexander Usyk next, which has kind of caused everyone to, debate whether Moses should be put in with someone like Usyk next. I mean, there is a strong argument either way that maybe he should be fighting a Hrgovic or a Caballero, Parker, those kind of guys before going in with someone like Alexander Usyk. But I mean, Usyk's beating everyone else. Why not give Moses a go? I mean, would Usyk even take that fight? I don't know.
I don't think Usyk's one that's ever shied away from a challenge. I don't think he's going to start now. The reality is he ready for Alexander Usyk? No, probably not. But can he beat Alexander Usyk? Yes, I think all of those heavyweights on their best day have got a chance of knocking each other out. It's just Usyk. No one's done that to Usyk yet. So is it too early? Probably. Could it happen? Yes, anything can happen in this sport. And could Moses win? Yes, he could. But he's not the favourite. And I think it would be the wrong thing right now for him because of the trajectory he's on and his age. And he's not had that experience. And I was sort of comparing this, not in ability, but look at, like an Edgar Berlanga, someone who goes out and is knocking people out for fun in the first round and then has a tough fight and everyone writes him off. That's where I go back to the point of it being such a fickle sport. And there's so much, I don't know, is the pressure on him at that point in an Usyk fight? Not at all, no. The pressure's probably more on him in the fights against the likes of the Hrgović's, those kind of names,
Mm.
than it would be against an Usyk because no one expects him to win.
Yeah, I mean, look, whatever happens to that, I think there's a lot of fights being mentioned for Itama next. I mean, I don't really see that being his next fight. Uh,
No,
as
no.
much as I'd like to, probably, yeah, just for intrigue to see what would happen. But for his progression, he's 20 years old. There's absolutely no reason to stick him in there unless, well, I suppose, if it made financial
It
financial
makes
sense.
sense. Yeah.
If it does in that way, then fair enough. But I don't see him fighting Usyk in his next fight. I think they'll
No.
kind of, you know, hold the horses, so to speak. Frank, I spoke to Eddie Earn this morning, asked him about Jake Paul and Joshua. His words were, "Watch this space." Said it about 4 times. I know you're probably not going to tell us anything different to that, but I mean, I'm assuming things are progressing how they're meant to be.
Yeah, it's a massive fight. It's a massive fight. And I upset people by saying it's commercially a bigger fight than the Tyson Fury fight, but that's just the truth of it. So we shall see. Who
Yeah.
wins?
It's not a case of who wins. Is it happening? That's what I want to know. Is it happening?
Is it happening? We shall see.
So when you and Hearn start talking like this, it just tells me that it's nearing. That's all that tells me. So make of that what you will.
No, but boxing is like until something's signed in boxing, it's not happening, is it? And you can be as close as you can be 99.9% of the way there, and then something happens and then it all gets fucked up. So I prefer to say nothing is anywhere near happening until it's signed. And then you can say, yeah, I think it will happen. And then you announce it as a surprise.
Do you know this will be the first year since Joshua turned pro that he hasn't fought as a pro?
Interesting.
And also, it's the first year Tyson Fury hasn't fought as a pro since turning pro.
Really?
Yep.
There you go.
Stat for you, isn't it?
That's it. I mean, look at you.
It's weird though, isn't it? I notice it because I know kind of every year we're kind of expecting to have one of them fighting, but this year
Hmm.
it's the first year since yeah, obviously they didn't turn pro in the same year, but it's the first year since they've both turned pro that they haven't fought.
I mean, when you think really, like, especially for AJ, he's never really had any break in the sport. And he's gone from, and like when we talk about Moses being rushed into an Usyk fight as an example, after AJ beat Charles Martin, he was learning on the job, like the Klitschko fight. That was earlier in his career. And he's never taken time out from the sport to just relax a bit. And I think this time has been good for him. The injuries, making sure he's fit, 100% ready, and also just giving himself time out of the ring. And that's will define even more how much he wants to be in the sport. And I know from speaking to him, he's fully committed to keeping on going. People, again, it goes back to the sport being so fickle. When you look at his career, he's been beat by Ruiz, who he then avenged the defeat against, Usyk twice, but who is undoubtedly the best of our time. And then Dubois he got stopped by, but he never stopped coming. And boxing is so fickle where people go, "Oh, you're done," and it's like he could go for another 3, 4, 5 years. He'll go as long as he wants to go. But we're always judging them off of that one performance, and not every night you're going to have your best night.
Do you think we'll ever be in a situation where we see AJ and Itama being talked about, or is
Probably. I
hmm,
mean, don't write anything off, like as in those conversations. AJ, I've said it time and time again, in the heavyweight division is the commercial kingpin. And if you want to make money, you fight AJ. So I'm not saying that's a fight that will happen, but will it be spoken about for sure?
interesting times? Have we got a press conference coming up for Ben-EUBANK soon, or
Waiting at the minute for further details from the Riyadh season team. But yeah, I would think impending be another, hopefully no eggs in the vicinity.
Yeah. Do you reckon you're going to sit on the
Eddie
top?
didn't react well. Eddie didn't react well to the eggs, as you saw in our Netflix promo.
I've seen the Netflix promo. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute, but that looks interesting. I asked him if was there any bits that he asked to be cut out, and he said no, but I don't believe that. There must have been some things in there you're thinking, don't know about that going in.
Do you know what? You don't actually have any creative input in it.
No, but you've got input on obviously the final edit and whether things go in or not.
It's interesting view. That's what makes these things so interesting, is that it's raw and uncut. Otherwise, it would be boring. You want to see the reality.
I've been around boxing long enough to know. I reckon there was a few things that you just couldn't air. I just my opinion. There's no way that's just right. We film everything. We put what we want out. You've like, there's some things in there. Whatever you guys say, that would have been like, I don't know. I'm just guessing. I don't know that. I'm just guessing. We should
Well, you can tune in September 17th.
we'll tune in. Um, but yeah, Eubank Ben coming round the corner quite quickly. Say quite quickly. It's still 3 months away. 3 months away. What is it? November the
September 15th.
15th. So just under 3 months away. But yeah. Have you spoken to Ben recently?
Not. Been speaking to his team. He's been away. He was getting a bit of a holiday. He's just back now before his
Another
training.
one.
Another holiday. You say that to him, not me.
Another one. Yeah.
No, he's getting a bit of a break because it's going to be an intense. He had an intense year, start to the year with a camp for that one, and then he's going to be straight back in there. I don't know, like you say, 11, 12 weeks now to go. He's gonna have a busy period towards the end of the year.
It's interesting to see the build up to this as well. We've kind of got like a bit of a mad build up to this. We've had two build ups really, obviously from the first like three that didn't happen 3 years ago, and then this build up. So interesting to see the dynamic of how this works. Whether Eubank will let you and Eddie speak on the top table. I mean, who knows what's going to happen?
Who knows? We've got it all to look forward to, haven't we? The whole build up starts again. Like you say, it's been 4 odd years, this now, 3 years or whatever, of back and forth, and nothing's going to change. You saw after in the ring last time there was no handshakes between them, and I think we just carry on as we were.
Yeah.
Look, Chris is tremendous at what he does in press conferences, as we know. Connor, they're two complete different characters. Like when you put them together, so they will always gel very well together. You know, so it's going to be an interesting build up. And the first fight delivered, and this fight will be no different. Round one of this fight will be round 13.
How will you play your part in this build up, Frank? Being not in the middle, but sort of semi in the middle.
Yeah, I've answered it sort of a million times now with this fight, where people like I read a lot of comments where people say about me, what a dishonest snake, with his brother-in-law. But the truth is, my job is to put on events, right? Like I put on shows, right? The production side of it. The two fighters are going to get in the ring, and the best man is going to win. Irrelevant what I think, irrelevant what everyone else thinks. Two people are going to get in the ring, have a fight, and one's going to win, unless it's a draw. And it doesn't matter what I think. And my job is to deliver the best possible opportunities for the people we represent, i.e., in this case, Conor Benn. And Chris has the same people doing that for him from his management perspective, delivering that for him. People talking about like the weight, this, that, the other. That's their job to do. Do you get where I'm coming from? That's for them to do. I sit in the middle. I don't say who's going to win. I don't say who's going to lose. I just say it's going to be a great fight. And I've never said a bad word about Chris. And I'm excited for the fight, just like everyone else is, and nothing changes for me. I go and put on a great show, and we get on with it.
Now, that's a bit of an awkward question, but am I assuming that your loyalty though is with Metron?
But yeah, my loyalty is with the business of what I do, right? In terms of I have a job to do. But if it comes to personal matters, like after the fight, when he went to hospital, I was there with my family because that's personal. So, it's not, for me, it's two separate things. Like Chris has people doing what I do for him on his side, right? Who represent his best interests.
Yeah.
My job is to deliver it. Like really, when it comes down to it, we agree all the terms and we deliver a show. There's nothing else. Two people get in the ring, and they're the two people who do it. So when we talk about like loyalty to people, there's nothing I'm doing against Chris. I'm not in there like making loads of noise out with pots and pans to put him off in the changing room, or like stopping him from making weight. Do you know what I mean? I don't help Connor make weight. I don't help Connor with tactics. I'm open. I don't know much about boxing. I don't know whether he should use his jab or his feet or when he should use, throw an uppercut. So like that's the only place people could question my loyalties. Am I jumping up and down for Conor Benn? No, I'm not. But I'm not that character anyway. Like you've seen me at enough shows. I sit there like this because I have to work with opponents. Even though we may promote the home fight, I have to work with opponents. I have to work with other managers, time and time again in this sport. So I'm very like silent, respectful, because I have relationships with people that you have to keep over time, you know. So I'm not in his corner with a flag, waving around a flag like, hey, that's not me as an individual. So loyalty to me doesn't really come into it. I will do my job to the best of my ability for the business I work for and the people I represent. But my job doesn't entail going and setting off fire alarms at the other fighter's hotel, to cause him to not have the best preparation.
Yeah, to be honest, it's a really unique and kind of bizarre situation that you're in, really, isn't it? I mean, it's not really known that this can be, like I said, your jobs with Matchroom, you're in the Eubank family. It's just, yeah, it's just a unique and bizarre situation. So there's no
Mm.
wrongs or rights, I suppose.
No, I'll have my, like I said, the half and half scarf.
Well, Frank, what's your understanding of like without speaking to him, I don't really know the complete ins and outs, but what we've been told with Ben Shalom and Boxer, they've got a partnership with Team Eubank, etc., or Eubank. I don't really know what that specifically is in terms of the alternative of being just promoted by them or whatever. But what's your understanding of this partnership relationship with Eubank and Shalom and Boxer?
I don't know. I don't know. The only people who could answer that for you is Eubank's representatives, I guess. Like they've been very quiet about it. You think with the lack of news they have, they'd make a bit more noise about this because it's a monumental event. But they've been very quiet about it. But I don't know what a partnership means. I know what a partnership means, but I don't know what a partnership means in this sense. Um, I mean, Ben Shalom's probably the only one who could answer that for you. The reality is, I don't think he went with Ben Shalom because of his tremendous promotional abilities. He hasn't actually promoted a single fight of his or invested the money into a fight of his. They've obviously been on Riyadh season or Ring magazine shows. He's not necessarily the biggest voice of a promoter in the world, is he? He's not the one shouting the door. And Eubank isn't someone who needs that. So I don't really know what the deal is, but they'll have to answer it. You know, but let's see. But yeah, been very quiet in the build up to or in the sort of announcement around this one.
Yeah, I mean the news about the BBC deal came out what a week ago, a week and a half ago, and then I mean we haven't managed to interview Ben yet. I'm sure we will at some point to kind of know their plan. Their first show is meant to be in September in Birmingham. Whether how accurate that is, I don't know for definite, but that's meant to be what it is. There's people saying they've got 4 shows a year. Again, no clarity at the moment from Boxer or Ben Shalom, but hopefully we'll get that in due course.
Maybe if you hunt him down and find him, he's probably on a gagging order from the BBC, said he's not allowed to say anything in case he gets in any trouble.
Well, I don't know, but I'd like to. Ben, if you are watching this, then come to IFL. Come to IFL.
We love you, Ben.
We love you, Shalom. Um, right. Well, listen, much appreciate your time. I know you've got a lot of shows coming up here, Mexico, America, Sheffield, Sunderland,
All over the world, baby.
at some point,
Belfast, Australia,
Belfast. Yeah.
Orlando, everywhere, mate. We're on a global tour.
Are you going to be at every single one?
I am going to Sunderland. I'm going to Belfast until Friday. Then I'll fly to Japan to see Abigail dethroned Inoue
Yeah.
on the Saturday for 24 hours. Then I fly home. Then I think I'm in Rio with Beatrice Ferreira. Then I'm in Sheffield. Then I'm in London. So yeah, a bit of everything, mate. Touring the world. Need a new
Lovely.
passport.
What oh sorry, just before I let you go, I'm sure you would have seen a couple of these interviews we did, one with Hearn and Booth and Josh Kelly. I'm sure you would have seen that. What I mean, what was your take on all that? I mean, there was one, he said this, she said this, and
Yeah, I think I said at the time when people said you gave him 24 hours to negotiate, it's just like every fight's different. And they came back after we'd accepted and signed another fighter. So, we're working at fast pace, trying to make fights. And like, it is what it is. People read into it too much. People get too emotional. It's like the fight's there. Do you want to take it? Yes or no? No, not the minute. Okay, we got to move with what we're doing because we've got to get shows on sale and planned. So yeah, I don't read too much into it. I saw them going at it. I was doing an interview at the time, and I saw them in the corner of my eye going at it between them. But Adam's been in the sport a long, long time. We've got a good relationship with Josh from over the years, but we've got a great fight with Lima. And these are the stories that keep every now us and Warren aren't beefing. These are the things that keep everyone going, don't
yeah, absolutely.
they?
There are reports Josh Kelly is in talks with Murtazaliev. Do you know anything about that?
No, I think there's a purse. He's got a purse bid though against someone, Murtazalev, if I've pronounced that the right way. I believe. But great fight if he takes it.
Right, Frank Smith, thank you very much for talking to IFLTV. No doubt we'll catch up with you soon. Have you got
Right,
anything else you'd
moving
like to add?
cast. Thanks very much for talking and that wearing that lovely vest and rubbing your nipples to try and put me off.
Was I?
Yeah. If people could see what I could see right now.
They could see. Frank Smith, thank you very much for your time, and we'll catch up with you again soon, mate.
Cheers, Googie.